Warning, this video may contain adult language not suitable for some children. Hey guys, welcome to Through the Table podcast, a podcast about wrestling, and my co-host here with me today is...
Tommy NC 2010 World Heavyweight MTV's Made Comedy Central's World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, boy. Go!
And I'm Darmor of Darmorsoul YouTube. We're starting a new thing today. We're doing a podcast strictly based on wrestling. We're going to cover several things. Today's episode, we are covering No Mercy, the pay-per-view that just happened last night. Did you enjoy the pay-per-view, Tommy?
It was decent. I had to say, most of the matches, I was really shocked that they had the main event match right at the beginning of the night, and I was really disappointed in with the match because I really wanted to see John Cena walk away with the 16-time World Heavyweight Champion of the world.
Wouldn't that have been something, though?
Oh, would have been
beautiful.
But
I hope, and I'm sure it's going to happen, folks. Let's hope it just happens. I want it to be at WrestleMania.
Yes.
I think that would make it even more special.
Defying. It's very defying.
And the whole having the main event at the first of the card, not counting the pre-show stuff because there is the pre-show.
Yeah, pre-show.
Having the main event at the first part of the show was actually different, but I kind of liked it. Yeah. It kind of like, okay, here's the tone to set. It gives them a bar to set at.
Yes.
Like, this is what you need to perform at. Keep going, because it was an amazing match.
I have to say that most of the matches, were very electrifying and kind of lackluster at times. But, the Divas match was, I'm very skeptical.
Which one? There was two.
My bad. Women's division, sorry.
Well, I mean...
How do we go from Divas division to Women's division? Okay, like a couple years ago, we have a title that looks like a butterfly, and then now we have this title that just has this big W on the front of it, and it looks exactly like the World Heavyweight WWE Championship.
Well, the women's division and women's wrestling in general has gotten a lot more interesting to watch, especially with a lot of the other brands out there promoting them more. They've been getting better. Women wrestling has become more accepted around the world now, especially in Japan too. I'm glad to see women's wrestling finally coming to the forefront, saying, "Hey, we're just as awesome as the rest of the card. We can electrify just like the other guys." I like that. I like that because I'm personally back in the Attitude Era. I was a huge Lita fan. I was a Hardy Boy fan, but I did like Lita a lot because she was different. She was different than all the other girls who were in pretty makeup and all that jazz. She was the hardcore punk chick, and that was cool.
Yeah, and I have to say a lot of the new women's division wrestlers are decent. I do like the Boss. She's pretty good.
Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks, yes, that's what everybody calls. That's her nickname. Is the Boss.
The Boss. That's her gimmick.
Yeah, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks. She's a decent wrestler. She's got that awesome wrestling position. Wouldn't you hate to get
bank
that?
Statement?
Oh my god!
Basically a modified crippler crossface with a neck bar. Ooh, that looks like it looks vicious. It really does.
Wouldn't you hate to be in the bedroom with her when she locks it out?
Oh, gosh. We're not gonna go that route. But I'm loving the way they're going with this. Especially, I love that she is the champ and she's all about the championship, but she's not afraid to be friends with other people. She's not 100% about it. She still makes time for her friend Bayley, which I really like Bayley. Bayley has turned out to be a huge character, and I love it the way they're pushing her as this kind of very almost like a bubbly Tori Wilson. Or, I can't remember if she was in... There was another girl, Kelly something. It was Kelly something.
Kapoor?
No, not Kelly Kapoor. Kelly... What was her last name? But it was Kelly. It was Kelly.
Kelly.
I love that...
Didn't she leave a while back ago?
Yeah, she left quite a while ago, but I love that they're giving another bubbly character, because I like the fun characters. I understand there has to be heels in the division, so you have to have the bad girls, the mean girls, the Awesome Kong kind of person. Yeah. Which is like in the NXT you got Asuka.
You didn't realize Awesome Kong was fired because she got pregnant.
Yes, but she did end up coming back after that. Which
I haven't seen her in a while because that's...
Well, no, she left again. Her contract expired and she didn't renew. But she did come back after that because I don't think it was Bound for Glory the year before last. It was the one right before that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but there was she did come back to actually fight and compete in a like a Royal Rumble-ish style match.
Yeah.
It was really good, and she dominated. It was a men's Royal Rumble she entered, and she dominated the dudes.
God, it's like fighting China. May she rest in peace. That was a loss for the wrestling community. She hadn't been really wrestling in a while, but
she's still a household name that was known.
Yeah, I like to say in this wrestling podcast that I think Vince McMahon is a corrupt person that is very crippling, and he cripples a lot of his wrestlers. I did an exposed video on my Facebook, and if you want to add that in there, some of the things I said in there, how Vince McMahon cripples his wrestlers and makes them wrestle all year. We could be home sleeping, but they're touring over in Japan, touring all around. And he hands him a bottle of a whole thing of steroids, and like, shoot this up for yourself, because if you don't, you're fired.
See, I understand. There's a thing with me that I have about Vince. I understand there's some backhand stuff he does.
Yes.
But there's also, you have to look at this as a business, and he has to have his performers perform. And in there, I kind of give him a little bit of okay, you know what you're doing. You've been running this business for years. But some of the stuff is questionable, and some of the stuff it's part of business. It happens. And, I mean, it's just the nature of the beast, sadly. But, I mean, some of the stuff he does is great, and some of the stuff he does is not so great. But moving on from that, we're going to go ahead and get right into the pay-per-view. No Mercy. SmackDown exclusive. Now that we have exclusive pay-per-views, come on! I like the brand division. But it was weird because we had Luke Harper on there last night. Now we're going to talk about that later too.
Yes, Luke Harper.
But we'll get right into the.
Raise your hand if you think that the Bray Wyatt family looks like a homeless family that would rape you.
He hates the Bray Wyatt family. Yes. I love the Wyatts. I enjoy their gimmick.
Shout out to Husky Harrison. He couldn't make it as a Nexus member, so they had to slap a beard on him.
Come on, man. Give Bray a break. I really like Bray. I don't like what they're doing with him.
You mean Husky?
No, he's Bray.
Oh, come on. He's Husky, dude.
No, I can't say that.
Husky.
But anyway, we'll get right into the first match, which was the main event. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship. AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose versus John Cena. We got the Lunatic Fringe. We have the Phenomenal One. And then we have C-Nation.
C-Nation.
What did you think of this match?
I thought it was a hardcore match. I thought it was very entertaining. I thought it was on the edge of your seat. And it was... You wanted to see Cena get the championship. A lot of people are like, no, we don't want Cena to win the championship. But it's not... Folks, here's the thing. The fact that he did not win it just means he's going to win it soon. It doesn't exit out that he lost the champion for 16-time champion. When you win a title, you don't lose the honor of how many times you have a title.
It's logged. It's a log.
Style. It's a log side title. And what is he if he's near how many titles does he have so far?
Oh gosh. John's held the tag team titles. He's held the US title. He remade the US title himself. Then he had He's also held the other
World Heavyweight Champion.
He's held the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and remade the belt twice.
Yes.
He's held. I know I think he's held both tag team championships, the older tag team championships, but I'm not 100% on that. But I know he has held a tag team championship, and. You gotta speak to the he came from nothing. He came into the business, bright red shorts, bright red tights, no C-Nation stuff.
What was his original name before he came into the industry?
I do not remember.
The Prototype.
The Prototype. That's right.
Yes, when he came off the circuit, he apparently had long hair, and Vince McMahon looked at me and was like, cut his hair.
Yeah, he cut it short to a buzz cut. But he came in. He was a big man. He was no doubt about it. He was buff. He was beast. But it wasn't C-Nation John Cena. And as we know, C-Nation, even though it had an up and a down phase, there is no bigger gimmick in the current tier, I'm not counting Attitude Era. I'm in current tier, post The Rock era. There has been no bigger face.
I've noticed with John Cena, his face is slapped everywhere. He's slapped on shoes. He's slapped on underwear. Can you imagine going into Walmart being John Cena and seeing yourself on a pair of kitty underwear?
Well, I mean, they got to make that money. I will admit, some of his gear is kind of goofy. Some of his stuff is kind of dumb, but he does have some cool stuff too.
How about a John Cena dildo?
Oh, that's a bit much. That's a bit much.
God. You can't see me. You gotta have some grittiness to the podcast, dude.
That's not for our side of the we're guys. That's not the. And
when it comes on, it's like do 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 do.
Oh God, not the theme song. Please no. But anyway, we had AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose versus John Cena. John looked really, really strong in the show. I felt that he had a very, very good chance. There was a lot of I liked how they kind of segregated the fights. It wasn't all three of them going at each other all the time. It was, John and AJ. Then it would be AJ and Dean, and then it'd be Dean and John. They had a really good back and forth. They gave everybody a time to shine, which means that they're not trying to push Dean out of the shot. Dean he doesn't get the cheers like he used to.
Yeah,
but he was always a wild card. Anyway, yes. He was a wild card to the division of the World Championship, which was okay because it was different.
Dean Ambrose has a sketchy past, and if you look at
his CZW past. That boy had some rough matches back in the day. I give that man props. He did some crazy stuff. I watched Adam's Watch Culture video from WatchCulture.com. Shout out to Watch Culture, by the way. Shout out, guys. This lucky guy got to meet Adam. Actually, yes. I'm doing a broadcast. How professional! Ding dong! Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. This is so unprofessional. Chris, hey, Tommy. I conventionally didn't know that you were doing a broadcast. I got off work early. What can I say? He comes in. This lucky guy gets to meet Adam from Watch Culture as I'm interviewing Adam. I won't lie. I did not know he was broadcasting his or interviewing them at the time. But I am a huge What Culture fan. I love Jack the Jobber. I love Adam. I can never say his name right. Sorry, Adam Pacitti. I can never say your name right. I'm sorry. I love those. And the other Adam, too. I used to mess up his name, too. Like, what's Adam's last name? Pissy? Oh, gosh. But I love What Culture Wrestling. Especially, who's the one guy, the King guy? I can't remember. The John Clock. Oh, you need to check this guy out because he's part of their whole thing. I think I've seen him. He yells a lot. He does this whole funny gimmick with the Indus Nigh, the Indus Nigh. It is nigh. Get the fuck out of here, the Indus Nigh. And he tells JBL to go up a mountain all the time when he screws up on his casting. It's hilarious. But shout out to What Culture Pro Wrestling and What Culture YouTube channel. Yes. Those guys are awesome. They are. I love them. High production quality stuff there. Yeah. And on anyway, let's get back into the match. We got AJ. But he's gonna be thinking about that all night long. AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, John Cena, great back and forth. Great, gave everybody a chance to shine. Disappointed in the ending. I kind of saw it coming. Because, what is this? Is what, third time defending the belt? Yeah, I don't think Styles is that much of a good wrestler. Really? Dude, I love AJ Styles. I've watched AJ Styles from when he came from Japan, TNA, when he does all the open circuit stuff. He is an amazing athlete, and he is a great showman. Now, granted, AJ, if you're watching, bud, I love you. Like he's going to be watching our podcast. Well, you never know. I love you, man. But a bad guy, you got to work on the angle because everybody knows who you are, and you just don't strike as a bad guy. You don't strike me as a bad guy. You're too much of a babyface. But granted, you did have your run in TNA where you did do the bad guy thing, and it was very good. I just think so many people know you, and your gimmick is just so. I know you're trying to be a bad guy, but you still get huge cheers when you come out regardless. But I mean, anyway, we love you here at the show too, man. You're a great guy. I love what you do, and you're an amazing athlete and an amazing showman. I love. Oh, shut up! Hey, come on now, come on. You gotta give these guys some credit. They do a hard job. I mean, it's pretty amazing to the amount of mobility, agility this guy has. I mean, the crazy moves he pulls out for a man his size. I mean, he's not a small dude. He may look small to John Cena, but he's not a little dude. He is built. And for all the crazy maneuvers he does, like the phenomenal forearm, I mean, that was it, 540 frog splash? That is insane to watch. Just how good he can time tucking his leg.
It is kind of funny watching John Cena climb up on the top turnbuckle.
He's so slow with it.
It's like watching a little frog climb up on top, and he's like, I'm like, Cena, get off the turnbuckle! You don't no!
He's a mat wrestler.
You're a mat wrestler, Cena, get down, come on. It's like watching a 4-year-old climb up something.
It's like watching someone like Kane try to do like a Hurricane Rana or something. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work. They take their bumps the wrong way, and they're just like...
it's dangerous too.
No, it's, yeah. I'm starting to say this John Cena is as significant as a 4-year-old when it comes to high-flying wrestling.
But I mean, you gotta give the man props. He tries.
He tries and he fails.
Well, sometimes.
As you can see, the Undertaker's got old Cena in a choke slam.
I have to give John a credit on his elbow drops, because his elbow drops are on point. They look like Macho Man's.
I heard a little rumor that Undertaker's going to fight Cena at the next WrestleMania for his last match. There's a possibility.
I could see that being a good match. And plus, I mean, John's a professional. He knows what he's doing. His botches, he rarely has a botch, and when he does. And with the age of The Undertaker, no offense to anybody who's an Undertaker fan, the man is old. And he's tall. He's a big dude. He's been big dude for years.
52, I think he is.
His knees have got to be horrible.
Oh God.
They have to be very careful with him, because you don't want to hurt that man.
No.
I mean, he's a legend.
His brakes must sound like when a truck lets its air brakes out.
I mean, you can't deny the man has done everything, but at his age, no offense to anybody who's I don't want to see Undertaker go out hurt. I do not want to see that.
I don't want to see Taker in a wheelchair, really. Honestly, I say that he needs to have one good match, and then he needs to retire.
Even if he shows up for, spots here and there, kind of like how The Rock does. He shows up for certain things. You can do that when you're older in your career. It's just, you don't need to be performing on a constant basis. Whether it's like you're doing a long-standing gimmick from, like, say, Survivor Series to WrestleMania, that's a long time.
What's the point in slapping... one thing, I had a comment from somebody. What's the point in slapping the title on The Rock if he's not going to be there for the whole entire time while he's champion? That's stupid, don't you think?
Well, I mean, people want to see him with the championship, and people are going to get what they want, and it's a big money draw, regardless. It's a big money draw. People love The Rock.
That's all.
They don't want him to quit, and but I mean, he's so busy with all movies, his workout stuff, and all that. He's a very busy man.
I was laughing so hard last time I watched him in the ring, including Batista. Also, my gosh, that had me laughing so hard.
Batista, we miss you.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. Woohoo! I have not even seen it yet.
You haven't seen it? Oh, it's a great movie. It really is a good movie.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me.
But anyway, let's get back on point.
Sorry.
John, AJ, and Dean. Dean had a really good showing. Dean did really well. I didn't really like this. I feel like there's some kind of tension between him and Cena, because it's not a point of no selling Dean. It's just, it feels like there's kind of like a tension between them. I think, and we all know, it's gimmicks and stuff. He called, oh God, please stop. He's pouring a Mountain Dew. Don't let him fool you.
I would never pee on
Dean called him a has-been who can't get it done anymore. And even if it is gimmick, that's got to play a little bit emotionally.
Yeah.
But Dean had a really strong showing last night. Not as strong as AJ. AJ had an amazing showing last night. John had a very good showing.
Yes.
It was a very good match. It was very solid.
Hardcore, entertaining.
I wouldn't give it a 5 out of 5, but it was definitely between the 3.5 to 4.
I give it a toss-up.
You give it a toss-up?
Yeah, toss-up.
All right, well, Like I said, it was a great match. AJ retained his title yet again due to a chair shot to the back and head. Or no, it was abs and back.
Dirty, rotten cheater.
No rules. It was a no DQ match. You can't blame him. Dean could have done the same thing. John wouldn't have, I don't think, but...
Except Dean was too busy eating floor at that point.
You know.
Ooh, the floor tastes so good.
He was laying outside of the outside the ring. But
that's what I'm doing. He's eating floor.
No, he wasn't laying outside the mat. He got AA'd. He got avalanched AA from the second turnbuckle by John, and then John got hit with the chair by AJ, leading to AJ retaining his title in a pinfall, which I kind of feel like they have to do that. They have to, because AJ is such a big name. Coming from, everybody knows who he is, regardless of whether you watch WWE, TNA, Japan Pro, Japan Pro 1 or something like that? Mm-hmm. Japan, whatever. I'm sorry. I love your guys' stuff, but I forget your name all the time. But it's just, he's a huge name. You have to build this up much more.
Yeah.
But I feel like he may lose his title. Maybe not at WrestleMania because I would love to see John and Undertaker go at it, but I would love to. I think maybe we'll see. Have we done? No, we haven't done SummerSlam yet, have we?
No, SummerSlam.
That's next year.
That's next year. Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble is next.
They're talking about advertising for Royal.
Yeah, advertising.
No, Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell is next, but they're probably going to do it at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of a con and a pro at the same time because that's a long build up. That's a pretty decent build up.
Yeah.
I kind of don't like how long they stretch out these kind of like gimmicks of this guy hates this guy and whatnot because they need to be. I'd give it 2 pay-per-views. 2 pay-per-views for a feud.
Yeah.
And then move on.
Yeah.
You don't want to make the thing stale like they did with a lot of the older like Cena rivalries. They don't need to go on forever.
Wasn't the next match a Divas women's division match? Or?
The next match was the if I can get through my list here, let me check here. It was Nikki Bella versus Carmella.
Yes.
I
loved her entrance.
Their entrance is good.
Her
entrance is good.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. That was freaky. That was dyed hair.
No, that's you're thinking of Naomi.
Oh yes.
You're thinking of Naomi. I like Nikki's entrance, but here's the thing about the match I had a problem with.
What's that?
There wasn't a lot of botches. It was just very uneventful, and it was a lot of Camilla screaming at Nikki's face. It was very slow. It wasn't.
Oh yeah, wait, you're not up to my standards!
Nobody likes you.
You're not up to my standards! And then you lose. Come on. Really?
It was a very, very slow, lagged out match. There were some good spots, but there was a lot of like a super kick was more of a push kick than it was anything. And it didn't have a good pace. I mean, I like both of them. They're both very good athletes.
Yeah.
But it was not paced well. And there was a lot of like, almost you could see distance between them, and they were trying their best to work with each other.
Yeah.
And it just kind of fell flat.
Yeah, I had to say that when I watch a WWE match, I want to see a lot of tension. I want to see a lot of good acrobatic moves, and that's
the pace has changed.
Pace has changed a lot in the industry, and you know when you're dealing with somebody like Vince McMahon that has changed the industry where there's no competition. And what was that rumor you were telling me about possibly that WWE is going to buy TNA?
Yes, WWE is in talks right now. It's not 100% official, but there is talks, and contracts have been drawn up for WWE to purchase TNA from the Carter family, but not shutting it down. We're not saying that's going to happen later on, because look what they did with ECW. Ran it for a little while, then shut it down. They're going to purchase. It's looking like they're going to purchase. WWE is going to purchase TNA and rebrand them. Now, I don't know if they'll change the name, but they are rebranding, which is going to give a lot of guys going to get to keep their job. But I have a feeling a lot of guys are going to lose the lower end guys are going to lose their jobs.
That's ridiculous, and that's like the capability of Vince McMahon, what he did with WCW. He basically, in my opinion, he slit its throat, raped it, and then took the best qualities of it and said, "You're fired. You're fired. You're fired." Wait a minute, I had a contract. And, it doesn't matter. Goodbye.
Well, I didn't like what Vince. Man, you screwed up the invasion angle. You could have done it so much better if you would have actually committed to it. I just felt like it wasn't committed, and you just kind of brought up a lot of the lower end guys from that. You could have like capitalized on the big heavy names of the WCW era, and it was good to watch when I was younger when I didn't know any better, but it just felt like the angle was slow and it just wasn't dealt right, which it could have been a lot better. But anyway, back to Nikki and Carmella. It was a slow match. I give it maybe a 2 out of 5. I was not impressed.
I was kind of like this and this.
Yeah, another toss up.
Yeah. It's just flicking. It's like one of those things that when you get flicked in the eye, you're like, ow, 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 ow. That's like what WWE is sometimes. Is like somebody flicking your eye. It's like your big brother sitting on you and flicking you in the eye.
It was just slow. It just really was. But I was happy to see Nikki Bella's Rack Attack 2.0 come back to the finisher. That was pretty good. I have to admit, that was probably the brightest point of the match. All right, moving on from the women's division, we are going on to the tag team titles.
Ooh.
Heath Slater and Rhino defeat the Usos. Here's my thing, guys. I love tag team wrestling. I've been a Hardy fan for years. I've met the Hardys at different shows. They are amazing guys. I've always loved the tag team division. I know. I love the Hardys, no matter what. They are my favorite.
Yes.
I love them, and I just love their pacing. They had a great pace.
Yes.
Rhino and Heath Slater versus the Usos, defeating the Usos again. Because, guys, I know a lot of people don't like the Usos right now. They don't like the gimmick. They don't like the change in the mentality. I love it. I loved their stuff before with their different traditional stuff. It was amazing to watch. I love Samoan culture.
Yeah.
And it was really fun to watch them. But I love this huge swerve to this kind of like very dark, very tactical. We're gonna do what we gotta do, and they're proud about it. They're proud of their history. They're not upset with it. I just love what they do right now. It's very, very strong. What do you think?
I think that the Usos are very electrifying. I think that they have ambitions to be good, and I think that it will take in the future for them to build themselves up, unless Vince McMahon decides that he's going to get rid of all high-flyer wrestlers, which
I hope not.
Vince McMahon has a vendetta against high-flyer wrestlers because they take a wad out of his paycheck a lot of times because they get injured a lot. But, Vince McMahon, you shouldn't just like mat wrestlers. People want to see...
High flying is entertaining. It really is.
And here's the part where Chris edits me. Holy shit! That when the Vince McMahon is just sitting there like, no, don't say that. No. Oh.
I don't think he hates him that much. It's just he looks at it as you can do risky stuff. It's just he has to look at it as he has to pay these guys, and when they're not out there performing, they're like look at Finn Balor. He's been out for a while. He won the championship. He's out for a while. That's just time off. He's not making money off of him. He's just basically paying a guy. Which, granted, Finn is a great guy.
Yes, Finn Balor is one of the best wrestlers I think.
I loved him as Prince Devitt in Japan wrestling.
Really?
That was his one of his gimmicks with the Bullet Club. He was with the Bullet Club actually.
Really.
I hated to see him get hurt because he is such a strong showman and such a great athlete. But it was just sad to see him get hurt.
Yeah.
Heath and Rhino versus the Usos, defeating the Usos. I love the Usos. I love their gimmick. It's great. It's just entertaining to watch. Rhino and Heath is quite the couple, aren't they?
I think they're like a porcupine and a cat.
But did you notice during that fight, Jay was smacking the crap out of Rhino. He's on his knees. He's like, come on, more. And then you hear Jay in the mic. You hear him, ECW. He's giving a shout out to old ECW, which I love ECW wrestling. It was always good.
Yeah.
And Rhino is a big man. He is a mammoth of a man.
Yes.
And I love Rhino. It's just the Heath Slater trailer park gimmick with Rhino kind of mixed in there. It's a weird flavor, but it works.
One of the funniest things I saw out of those two was Heath Slater sitting there like, man, I had this bad lobster. And
the stomach issue.
And he's just like, man, I was just pouring out of it. And Rhino's like, dude, we're still on air.
It's live. It's live.
It's live.
And he's like, and he goes, whoop! And he has to walk out of the ring.
The funny thing is the girl worked her part into it because she's like, oh. Because she's like, you can look on her face because she had that lobster too.
Yeah. And the thing is I like Heath and I like Rhino. It's such a weird combo and it works. It really does. It's goofy, it's funny, but it's not over the top.
Yeah.
And it just works. And I love this new mentality that Heath's got now. He's not just the guy who gets the crap kicked out of him. He comes into a match very forceful. He's moving. There's movement. He's not getting the crap kicked out of him now. He's actually doing something. Last night he came in and saved Rhino at a certain point. Yes. And I like it. I like Heath because he's goofy. He's funny. But I like the fact that they're actually not basically making him into a punching bag now.
You do realize at some point they're going to have Rhino turn on.
I know, it's going to be sad, but we're not worried about that right now.
I'm going to laugh when that happens because it's going to be like a pit bull with a kitten.
But it's just funny to see Heath, who for the longest time goes out and gets jobbed out to other guys.
Yeah.
And now he's actually doing stuff, and it's fun to watch.
It's funny to think that once Heath, what's his face, what the guy you're talking about?
Yeah.
He was once part of the shampoo version of the Shield, the Nexus.
Oh, yeah, the Nexus, yeah.
Yes.
And he had long hair back then.
Takes your... what is it? Nexus shampoo takes your...
I can't remember. It was goofy, but I'm glad to see that they're actually putting him up in a forefront as a formidable foe, not just a punching bag. Not someone that Rhino has to save every second of every match. Now, during the tag team title tournament, it kind of was that way. Rhino would come in, bail Heath out at the last minute. But now it feels like they're giving Heath some development, and he's actually doing stuff. It was fun to watch, and I enjoy that tag team. Not as much of the Usos, because I'm a huge fan of this new Uso tag team. Mm-hmm. I just love this whole very serious, very straightforward, no games played tag team.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, moving on from the tag team division, we have Baron Corbin versus Jack Swagger. This match, man, it's just...
I think Baron Corbin is a badass. I think he is a very good wrestler. I think Jack Swagger is just one step of just retiring.
And I kind of agree with you there. I liked older Jack Swagger. And did you notice when he came out of the ring, that little pooch belly he had going?
Oh yeah, that pooch.
I'm like, he needs to, maybe hit the treadmill a little more.
We the people means racism.
Oh, come on now. It's a gimmick. It's not.
But it only worked with that other racist with him.
It wasn't a racist. It was a gimmick. But that guy's been in wrestling forever. But
we're gonna build a wall and we're gonna make America great again.
Oh God, let's not get into that. But Jack Swagger versus Baron Corbin was not a huge fan of the match. Jack looked very tired, very slow, very very stiff. Which he hasn't wrestled in a while. He's just now getting back into it. Maybe down the road, once he gets a little bit more back into it again, maybe he'll get better.
Yes.
But it looked very, very, very stiff.
Yes.
And Baron Corbin cheated to win, but he did have a great showing. I like Baron Corbin.
I love his entrance. That is one of the most awesome.
I love the lone wolf aspect. I love that gimmick. It's awesome.
Yes.
He doesn't care who he's up against. He doesn't care who he's fighting or who he's talking to. Baron Corbin is Baron Corbin, and you've got to accept it. That's pretty much his whole entire thing.
Badass.
Yeah, that was way. Honestly, and this is a big comparison. Baron Corbin now reminds me of shades of The Undertaker, American Badass.
Yes.
I would love to see Baron Corbin come down to the ring on a bike. That would be awesome.
Yes.
But I love what Baron's doing. I love his gimmick. I like everything about him. Granted, he has to, sometimes resort to poking an eye or pulling a leg or something like that. But I mean, and he got which I don't know if it was intentional or if it was a botch. That tap out match where he didn't tap out to the whatever they're calling the ankle lock now.
I really didn't watch it actually.
He was trying to reach for the rope and the ref took it as he's tapping. I don't know if it was planned or if it was just a botch on the ref's part. But Baron went on a tirade afterwards, ripping apart desks, throwing crap everywhere. It was hilarious. But Baron had a really good showing in this match. Jack just really stiff. Really showing that he hasn't done it in a while. Maybe down the road, we'll see. Hopefully this isn't going to be the end because Baron won, obviously. And Jack was just kind of very just lackluster in this match.
You know who Jack reminds me of?
Who?
Biff from Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah.
He looks so much like him.
But Jack, man, I would just love to see you just once you get back in your rhythm. I know it's been a while since you've actually constantly been wrestling and whatnot. Once you get back in the rhythm, I think you'll be fine. I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
But Baron, just super strong showing. Great match on his part. We'll see what happens to it down the road. And now coming up to the match, I was most looking forward to this. I was so ecstatic for this match. I wanted to see this go through some retirement versus Intercontinental Championships.
Oh, yes.
Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. Yeah. Hey, you can't hate on the Intercontinental Championship.
I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying.
I love Dolph Ziggler. I love the man. He's an amazing athlete. He's an amazing showman. I cannot help. He is probably now my new number one favorite solo wrestler.
He is one of my favorites. He is a superstar that has been promised year after year. Titles.
And people love him.
People love him, and WWE manages to. I like to say what WWE does to wrestlers is they go and then they just be like.
See, here's my thing. I feel like Dolph was built to be the new Daniel Bryan, the ultimate underdog. You just keep getting screwed and keep getting screwed and keep getting screwed, and finally you climb that mountain, you reach that gold, and it was just the most. The match. Dolph. Here's the thing about Dolph. Dolph is an amazing seller. Sometimes that gets him in trouble because he can sell his opponents too well and it ends up backfiring on him. And it's just, but he knows how to make...
Spirit Squad. Shout out to the old dead Spirit Squad. Oh my gosh.
It's just Dolph knows how to sell himself and sell his opponent. And it's finally come into where he's finally loved by the fans. He's loved by the staff and the other wrestlers. He's just an amazing story of just never stop. Honestly, I would almost put him higher than John Cena on the whole, never give up, never say quit attitude, because Dolph is just, he started out as a heel. He was kind of beaten around. He lost his first world championship in what? A few seconds, 10 seconds to Edge?
Oh my God.
And it was just like, no. I didn't like him at the time, but now, dude, he's just come full circle.
Yes.
He's an amazing athlete. I mean, collegiate wrestler. And you could see shades of that when he wrestles. Great selling. He loves to do the high flying. He has I would put his super kick up there with Shawn Michaels. It is that good.
Very colossal and very entertaining.
I just love watching him wrestle. It's just every time you see a Dolph Ziggler match, you're not going to be disappointed.
No,
you're always happy. Well, you may not be happy with the ending, but you're entertained the entire way through.
Yes,
that man knows how to sell, and it's amazing. Now the Miz, Dolph won, defeating the Miz, keeping his career alive. Thank God for that, because I would have been sad if Dolph would have had to retire.
I wish they had fired the Miz instead. It would have been like, okay, if you lose your job,
Well, it was, he's doing that whole superstar thing, so he can have like this fake cloud of like a level where he can argue with the management. Miz is a great sell. I would put him on Dolph's level of being able to sell a character and sell his opponent and whatnot, but he is a very good showman. He is very good at what he does. He's very good at playing a bad guy. Now, I'm kind of sick and tired of the whole superstar, movie star thing. I'm just kind of sick of watching that because he's been doing it for so long. I would love to see Miz in maybe a remake or rebranding of him.
Yes.
Different. I'm sick of the movie star.
Yes.
He's a good athlete. He's an amazing showman. Just not a fan of the movie star gimmick. But great bad guy. I honestly, I prefer older, like, Fedora Miz when he back when he was a tag team. I thought he was entertaining back then.
Yeah. By the way, did you catch his intro music cutting off and then cutting back on?
Slightly, I did. I was in the middle of eating while I was watching, and it was kind of just like this little quick, like someone accidentally hit the off cue and switched it back on really quick.
I thought that was just the WWE Network. I'm thinking, no, that was actually the part of
someone hit the wrong button.
Can you imagine how that is? It's like
just the panic.
Click. Vince McMahon is like, what the hell are you doing? Bam! Okay, I'm sorry.
Miz did really well. Obviously, they tried to pull another cheat, which, what's his wife's name? I can't remember her name. What is her name? Let's see here. Why can I not remember her name? Oh my goodness. They threw her out too during the one point in the match.
Yeah, and the Spirit Squad.
What is her name? But I mean, that match, I would give that on a level of a 5-star. That was an amazing match.
Say cheese.
Are you taking pictures while we're podcasting?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! But and the whole the whole messing with. This is no time for Instagram. The whole how do you say her name? Michelle? No, it's not Michelle. It's whatever her name is. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. But
big blonde dum dum. Sorry.
I don't know. It's just she sprayed Heath or not Heath. What am I talking about? She sprayed Dolph.
Yes.
He got blinded. Got the skull crushing finale. Didn't lose. He still kicked out.
Yes.
Then and the whole match, Miz was working on Dolph's legs.
The whole entire time, I'm like,
this match was tense.
It was. I'm like, no. My neighbors were probably like, Tommy, shut up there. And I'm like, come on.
And I mean, Dolph even hit an unexposed turnbuckle and still kicked out.
Go. Mommy, I want some cereal.
And it's kind of funny to see the Miz after, had his teeth knocked out, constantly every now and then checking his teeth, making sure everything in there was real good and snug.
Yeah.
But, and then that springboard powerbomb he keeps trying to do. It got messed up 3 times and then finally on the 4th. But it was just the ultimate, roller coaster ride of a match. I loved it. It was great. Miz, even working in the figure 4 leg lock, constantly working on those legs, and that hurts. I used to be an amateur wrestler back in the day. That figure 4, it doesn't look like much, but it hurts. It really does. And Dolph's got a bad knee right now.
Yes, this is before I knew Chris, actually.
Yeah, this was way back in the day. I used to do wrestling for, it was Wild Mountain Wrestling. So it was WMW. And it was a great time. I did a lot of hardcore matches. For those of y'all who don't know me very well, I was a 289-pound high flyer. Now that's something to watch. I mean, it was very hard to do, but I loved every minute of it. But it's just, man, it was a great showing by both competitors. I kind of was like, when Miz lost, I was so excited. I was yeah! Finally seeing them re-branch out to Dolph as a winner.
Yeah.
And Miz kind of, drooped over the ropes. Almost in tears. That was such a good selling point.
Shout out to the Baited Podcast, by the way.
But it was so crazy to watch him almost tear up, and after, I want to renegotiate my contract just before the match again. And it's just this whole worried look on his face that they're both just so good at selling.
Yes.
Amazing match. I give it a 5 out of 5 all the way.
I give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Ah, okay. Well, moving on from that match, we got the Naomi versus Alexa Bliss. Now, for those of you who didn't get to watch, currently, is it Becky Lynch?
The boss.
No, not her. The last kicker. What? She's the Scottish girl. She's the champ right now.
I thought it was the boss who was the champ.
No. That's Raw. This is SmackDown only. Is it Becky Lynch?
I think it is Becky Lynch.
I think it's Becky Lynch who is the current SmackDown Women's Champ. Out with a non-wrestling related injury. May she get better quick. Hope to see you on the next episode of SmackDown. She's great gimmick, great story. Love her attitude. But she was not able to perform last night, and they instead of instead of like just completely just shutting down the match, Alexa Bliss came out, gave a promo of just, I want my shot, they protecting Becky Lynch, they ain't doing it right, I want my shot at the title, blah, 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 whiny kind of, and everybody who sees Alexa Bliss knows she's doing the Harley Quinn, now on my way now kind of gimmick.
Yes.
And then out of nowhere you hear the lights go down, you hear the music, that Naomi. I will honestly say Naomi has probably one of the most entertaining intros of any wrestler right now.
I know. I was like,
you can't sit there but do this while her intro is going on. It's just the feel the glow is just so strong right now, and I love it.
You know what wrestler I love on Raw right now?
Who?
The girl that has like the volleyball character. It's like going around like this, and she's got like looks like a female Ultimate Warrior.
Huh. I haven't watched a whole lot of the women's division. I can't remember who you're talking about. You're not talking about... No, she's... You're not talking about Bayley, are you?
Maybe, because everybody's...
the one I Like Hugs?
Yeah, I Like Hugs.
Yeah, that's Bayley. She's good.
Yeah, I think she's a good wrestler.
I just think Naomi in this... Naomi, they didn't give her the proper build for her. Because she was always just... It was the Usos and Naomi.
Yes.
It was never just Naomi. She never had a proper... build until now. This whole feel the glow, new style of building her character. I love every second of watching her wrestle because she does the whole, the very fast-paced, high-flyer, very agility-based wrestling, and I love every second of it because she's so entertaining to watch. And the music, the look, the dyed hair, the static green.
That was awesome. That was beautiful.
I love what they're doing with her right now, and I hope she moves up to get a championship because she right now deserves it. And she just beat Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss lost in this match to Naomi, and it was a very good match. It was just really fun to watch. I loved every second of watching it. Naomi and Alexa just going back and forth. And then Naomi coming out with the win was just like icing on the top of it.
Yes.
Out of all the women's division, other than Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch and Bayley are super entertaining to watch, I put this probably as one of my top women's matches currently. It was really fun to watch. I love the snotty, whiny, I'm better than everybody character that Alexa Bliss is doing right now with the Harley Quinn look to it.
Yeah.
And then there's just this completely abstract, different version of Naomi now getting a push, and I'm happy to see that. I want to see Naomi in the title shot. I want to see Naomi in that title shot. Even if she doesn't win it, I want to see her in it.
Yes, most definitely.
But it was just really fun to watch. Great showing by her completely. Okay, moving on from the Naomi Alexa Bliss match, we have the main event, I guess, of the last part of the show. Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Bray Wyatt defeating Randy Orton.
Yes, most definitely electrifying match. I didn't get to watch that match, actually. I went off to go edit something, a vlog, or I think a movie review.
Yeah.
Which you can check that out on the channel right now. It's up right now on the channel.
On Tommy NC 2010.
Yeah, on Tommy NC 2010.
On YouTube. Here's the thing about this. I'm a huge supporter of Bray Wyatt. I love the gimmick. I think he's a talented wrestler. They don't book him right.
You know what I do every time I see Bray Wyatt?
What? Oh, come on. You gotta admit, when Bray and the whole Wyatt family hit the scene, it was hugely popular. It was huge. But my thing is, Bray on his own is good. It's just, they don't book it right. He's supposed to be the world leader, a god. They constantly make him lose. Mm-hmm. Well, except for this time, obviously. He won this match due to a stipulation at the end of the match, which kind of happened. They've been having him lose constantly, and it's just... It doesn't support his character's kind of theme, and... I mean...
You know what I'd like to see Randy do
what?
In a match? I'd like to do a shaving match. Honestly, whoever
I like Bray's look. I like the white
He looks like a dirty hobo. That's
the point.
But he looks like he's like one of those hobos that walks out of the shit and says, "Hey boy, you got a pretty mouth."
Okay, that's a bit much, but that's a bit of a stretch. Come on now.
Come on, you have to admit, folks. You have to admit that Bray Wyatt looks like a hillbilly. It's going to rape you.
But anyway, the Randy Orton. Right now, Randy is really strong.
One thing.
Yeah. But Randy Orton right now, I love that they're playing to the meme side of this the RKO meme. It only takes one RKO to knock someone out. They're all the YouTube videos making these memes of the RKO, like the RKO movies. And he's playing with it, and I love that he's playing with it.
Yes.
And kind of giving like a whole, like, it's almost like he's the meme lord of WWE, and it's kind of funky and weird.
Superman versus RKO.
Yeah, that one.
Oh my gosh.
What was it, Jurassic RKO Park or something like that? Where he's
I
a
didn't see
dinosaur.
that.
Oh, it's so funny. But I like how he's playing off this meme gimmick. But he's also, it's kind of clustered with this whole, I'm going to give Bray a taste of his own medicine, the whole maniacal, manipulative, coded.
He took his words and said, basically, he said when he turned things upside down, I'm going to turn things right side up.
And then before the match, you saw Randy looking into a mirror, just kind of like, just looking at it, like, you know, trying to get himself mentally prepared. And then, like, a swirl effect came in, like it was getting distorted. And I was just like, is that supposed to be the voices in Randy's head messing with him, or is this Bray? What is it?
Yeah. And
it was kind of odd. I didn't know what to take away from it, but I love what they're doing with the meme lord side of Randy. I don't know. It's too much of those sick and twisted kind of gimmick.
Yeah.
It's too much of Bray's weird encrypted with Randy trying to kind of play off that.
Yeah.
It works to a point, but then it starts to be like kind of unsynced.
Randy's always been good, I have to say.
Randy's an amazing athlete. He's amazing.
But honestly, his heel, I don't like his heel. His heel is really...
That's the thing, though. You don't like him because he's good at it. He plays a good bad guy.
Yes, especially when Cody Rhodes and, what is it?
Legacy? Ted DiBiase Jr.?
Yes, and none of them are now wrestling for WWE now.
Well, Ted DiBiase's not wrestling, period, now. He runs a youth camp now.
Really?
Yeah. He made the decision that he wanted to spend time with his son, not be out on the road all the time. So that's why he quit wrestling, and now he runs a youth camp.
Really?
It's commendable. He wants to be there for his son. Maybe, God bless his soul, rest in peace, Dusty Rhodes. But, you know, Dusty was probably on the road a lot. So
Do you know where Cody is right now?
Yeah, TNA.
No, he's in England.
What's he doing in England?
He is with...
well, no, he's doing What Culture stuff too, but he's also part of TNA now.
Really?
Yeah, he joined TNA. He signed with TNA, but it's an open contract, so he can go and wrestle for other people.
Yes.
Which is nice. I love that TNA does these open contracts that you're not tied down to. You can only perform for my promo, and that is it.
Oh my gosh, WWE is so ridiculous with that.
I know. It's literally a money gimmick to only make money off of that superstar.
God forbid if they ever did that to John Cena, because they would lose all their credibility.
But Cody probably didn't get to see his dad much when he was young.
Yeah.
And then Goldust, when he was young, he probably never got to see Cody. He probably never got to see. He probably never got to see Dusty ever either. Yeah. See, they probably... I mean, I'm sure they had a good, strong connection with their father, or else they wouldn't be doing wrestling.
Yeah.
It's just kind of sad to think that Dusty, you know, couldn't... with work and everything, with having to support a family and chase your dream, that, you know, you kind of leave some things off the table.
Yeah.
Which is having a normal family life. Which, I mean, it's kind of a trade.
Yeah, having a professional wrestler father, you know, that's probably a hard thing, because he could say, yeah, my father's Dusty Rhodes. And they're like, is he going to be here tonight? No, he's actually in
Tennessee or something.
He's in Tennessee right now. And we could go watch him on TV.
And I kind of have the same feeling about Randy. Is Cowboy Bob Orton, his father, did he get to see him the whole time?
No.
Probably not. I mean...
That's the one thing about it.
But he followed in his footsteps.
Yes.
Old Cowboy Bob Orton. Great showman.
But, you know, one thing about Randy's beginning to the WWE, he actually went into the military, and then he's like, oh, this is not for me, and then he
made a life switch.
He made a life switch, but he kind of risked his people, you know, with the people that he was working with. Kind of cowardly walked out, and it was like...
Yeah, I mean, you know, he realized it wasn't for him. I can understand that if you pick a career and decide... Granted, it is the military, but either way, I mean, it wasn't right for him, so he decided, you know, this isn't what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. I don't blame him changing careers, doing something that you love. You don't want to do something that you're miserable with. I mean, nobody wants to do that. But Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton, great showing. There were a few slow points here and there, but overall, it was a solid match. It was a good match. When Bray did the, he has the, what's the...
Crab walk.
No, not the crab walk, the senton. Where he runs and throws his weight all on top of him.
Yeah.
Tore down the steps, laid him out, threw Randy on top of it, and did a running senton to land on Randy, but Randy moved, and he landed flat on step.
Ow!
You know that's gotta, like, shake your spine.
Ow.
And it just gives more cloud to... Bray's an amazing worker. He has an amazing work ethic, and he's willing to go that far. Actually hurting himself to actually sell the shoot. Or not the shoot, but sell the match. The guy's an amazing athlete. He's for his size, some of the stuff he does is pretty crazy to watch. I mean, he's a big boy doing a lot of these crazy moves. And Randy's a very slender man, but he's built. He's built like a house. I mean, there is not a bit of fat on him. And they're both amazing athletes and amazing showmen, amazing workers. And it was a good match, which the end had a plot twist, which was like, just what? The match ended with Randy. I think it was Randy going for an RKO or something.
Yeah.
Lights went out. Lights came on. A hooded figure standing in the middle of the ring. I was like, what? Then he flipped it back, and it was Luke Harper. We haven't seen Luke Harper in a little while. Nobody really knows. Like, did he quit? Did his contract end? Who knows? And he stuck his tongue out, did the whole Bray Wyatt. He was kind of almost acting like Bray. Like, almost like he was the same level with Bray. Like, with the whole throwing his arms out and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now, at the end, he, reverted back into his whole Wyatt, don't talk, stand behind me kind of thing. Didn't touch Randy. Didn't lay a finger on him. But gave Bray enough time to turn around and get the finisher on Randy to win the match. And at first I thought when the 1, 2, 3, and then Luke was kind of standing away, Bray was like, you could tell Bray was tired. He was sore. He was ready to go back to the locker room and rest. I thought, like, Luke's going to backstab Bray. It's going to happen. He walked over to Bray real slowly, picked him up kind of, put his hand on his shoulder, gave him a hug and whatnot in a way. I was like, there's going to be something getting ready to happen. But no, it didn't. I thought that was pretty interesting that they're going to keep Luke as a Wyatt member family in the background.
Yeah.
I was like, man, if Luke chokeslams Bray right now, this is going to be great.
Boom, kaboom, kind of separate, walking off, but, it's really weird.
I just don't want them to keep continually booking Bray as this pseudo cult leader, crazy man, and
crazy
losing all the time.
hillbilly.
Yeah, I don't like them making him lose constantly. They need to give him a long-standing match, a long-standing feud, and actually, I would love to see him go for a title. Could you imagine the Wyatt family with a title around?
Oh God!
Not tag teams. I don't want to see Eric Rowan comes back. I don't want to see the tag team title in the Wyatt family. I want to see Bray with maybe the Intercontinental Championship, maybe even the World, or well, not the World, but the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Wouldn't that be crazy just to have Bray just out there, crazy man, with the main title of the brand?
Oh my gosh,
that would be insane, and it would be such a weird, kind of cool gimmick to it, and I think that would be amazing. And I would love to see that, but I highly doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it would be fun to watch. I'd love to see them build that gimmick, but we'll see with time what happens. Bray wins the match. I'm hoping. I doubt it's over, but I'm hoping this feud's over. I want to see Bray move on to bigger and better things. And that was. I didn't predict it was gonna go out that way because I had no idea Luke was gonna show up. That was a complete surprise to me. I don't really look at the spoilers prior to matches, but I just don't want to see them go down the same road as Bray picking out a random person to attack, and then that builds a feud where he's just constantly toying with them. Let there be some clout and actual stuff to the back of his legacy. I want to see him build a legacy. And you never see him go for title people. You never see him go for someone who has a title. I would love to see him go for a title, even if it's maybe not the heavyweight championship. I'd love to see him go for the Intercontinental or maybe even the U.S. title, Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt, which they've kind of already done that. And I love what they're doing with not Roman Reigns. He's on Raw. What am I talking about? I'd love to see him go for the Intercontinental title. I hate to see Dolph lose it. I don't want to see Dolph go downhill again.
Yeah.
But Bray needs to go for a solo title and build off of that. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him in the future. I'm hoping it's going to be good. Randy will probably most likely go back to championship matches, going for the big title, just basically sticking where he's used to being.
When was the last time you saw Randy go for the World Heavyweight Championship?
It's been a while.
And I'd like to see Randy Orton versus John Cena again for the World Heavyweight Championship. Because you remember their matches from back.
No, their matches were amazing.
Their matches are legendary. They kind of build up for that time of an era for their matches.
They're very good at flowing a match to high impact. So that's the thing right now with the pace is it's either slow, drug out, or it's super speedy, fast paced. And everybody loves watching the quick reversal matches and whatnot, constantly seeing they go back and forth but constantly fast. If you're going to do a slow paced match, there needs to be big hits. And a lot of them to break up the monotony of I got him in a headlock and we're standing here for 2 minutes,
Yeah.
There needs to be more big hits, big slams going on than just, headlock to slam to headlock. That gets boring and stale.
And then going for a pin right in the middle of your match, that's, I think...
Well, I mean, they kind of have to do that.
I think it's about knocking your opponent out completely and then taking a pin.
Well, what they want to do is they want to show the level of, here's how he was at the start of the match. Here's how the level he is now. Is he going to go up, down? What's going to happen? They want to show
down,
he's getting... They're wanting to build him up to be weak towards the end, but then there's that miracle, moment, And I can understand that, but Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton match, I'd give it a solid 3. It was a good match, not crazy, except for that ending was pretty good. Maybe a 3.5. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5, but I wasn't on the edge of my seat watching it. I thought it was good, but it wasn't that good. I mean, it was mid-ground.
My bad, because I didn't get to see that match, so I really have no opinion on the match, really, because I didn't get to watch it.
Okay. Other than that, I think that's everything we have. I didn't really get to watch the pre.
I watched some of it, but I just didn't know who anybody was.
It was just.
It was good. It was good to see. What's his face? Woo woo woo.
Oh, that's right. Was it a triple tag team?
Yeah, it was a triple tag team. It was good to see him actually.
Zack Ryder.
I'd like to see Zack Ryder back in a title shot.
I would too. I love Zack Ryder. He's an amazing showman. I didn't like the suntan Jersey Shore Zack Ryder, but I love this re-gimmick he's doing where he's serious about wanting to.
He's got a beard on and he's kind of like.
What do you think of his partner, Riley? I stay hyped. I'm just like, man, come on. Zach's trying to calm him down. He's got his mind in the right place. It's just it comes off a little too strong.
Yeah.
I love what Zach's doing. There's one tag team I can't stand though.
Who?
The Von Villains.
Oh my gosh.
They're basically jobbers now. They're jobbed out to everyone. I don't like the gimmick. I don't like their characters. I don't like anything about them. Their wrestling is slow. They always lose, and it's never really a really good showing by them.
It's whose fault it is? That's Vince McMahon's fault. I'd love to see him just sit down with wrestlers.
Well, it's how the writers book him, but of course they get told what to do.
Yeah, Vince McMahon is basically. I'd like to see him dancing around. I like to see, and that would be a cool shot to actually see Vince McMahon building out some of these characters, like some of these Macho Man, and how he would pitch a wrestler like Stone Cold Steve Austin and all these other guys. Because Stone Cold Steve Austin wasn't always Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was the Time Master, actually. His name was the Time, I think.
He was a Hollywood Blonde, too.
Yeah.
Stunning Steve, yes. He wasn't always punch you in the face, flip you off. He wasn't always Stone Cold. He had
Stone Cold Steve Austin just said you whipped your ass.
Yeah, it's just the Von Villains. It was a good idea, just not executed.
Yeah,
just not executed well. Who else did it? Was it a 3-man tag? No, it was the Ascension, versus, I think it was let me look that up real quick, because I don't want to give false information. It's the vaudevillains for me just don't do it.
Don't zen. It
doesn't work. It's just, and then they got job. It was the Ascension was part of it too. Kick off. Let's see. Kick off match.
Ooh, man, my butt's going numb.
Let's see here. What was the kickoff matches? Where is it? Let me check here too. Oh, well, crud. Where are you? Give me the full matches. I don't want just this other crap. We've already gone through all those.
Sometimes WWE doesn't put out what the...
I know, it's stupid. I watched I didn't get to see the kickoff matches. No Mercy kick off.
Boo, boo, boo,
yeah,
boo,
I
boo,
love
boo,
Zach right now.
boo, 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 boo,
Okay. Okay, it was an 8-man tag team match. It was an 8-man tag team match between the Hype Bros and American Alpha versus the Ascension and the Vaudevillains. I like the Ascension. It's very, very, very Legion of Doom-esque.
Yes.
I just don't like that they lose a lot. If you're going to build them as like a Legion of Doom style, they need to be constantly, in your face, winning. Now, if you're going to do that, you have to like have them lose in a they got cheated aspect. I love the Hype Bros. I'm not a fan of American Alpha. They're good wrestlers. They're good gimmick. I get the whole All-American thing, but I've already seen that. I've already seen, what was it, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin?
Yeah.
We've already seen that before, and it's just,
Oh my gosh. That was so funny, Chris.
Yeah. I'm just not a fan of the Vaudevillains. I like the Ascension. I just like to see them booked differently. I'm not a fan of the American Alpha, but they're good. I give them props. They're good. And I love the Hype Bros. I just wish Riley would calm down a little more and like actually play out the match. He costs them a lot of the matches a lot of times, but I love that finisher, the Hype Rider from over top of Riley. I think that's so awesome. It just looks like a cool leg drop finisher. And I'm a huge Zack Ryder fan, but other than that, Vaudevillains Ascension lost versus the Hype Bros going over with the American Alpha. I think that probably was a very good match. It was probably very back and forth, but the Vaudevillains obviously getting the crap kicked out of them constantly. The Vaudevillains need a rebranding.
Yes, they do.
They need a rebranding.
Big time.
But other than that, I think that was the only kickoff match they had, I think. So you might say... Yeah, I think it looks like it's what only one was. Easy.
Whoopsie. Down go Cena and Taker.
Yeah. And Eric Bischoff. But I don't like them. I don't like the Vaudevillains. I just don't. But other than that, that's everything for No Mercy. I thought good pay-per-view. There were slow matches, but then there was really good matches. I mean, it was a decent pay-per-view. I'd give this pay-per-view probably a solid 4. It wasn't crazy good. It wasn't like, oh my god,
I give it a 1 out of 2.
A 1 out of 2. Okay. That's kind of a very skewed rating system now, isn't it? I'd say 3.5 to 4 for me. I thought it was good, but there were flat spots in it. I'm hoping Hell in a Cell is going to be good.
I hope it is too.
I'm really, really looking forward to the rebuilding of the Roman Empire. I love Roman Reigns.
Yes, Roman Reigns is...
I love this new rebuild of him, that he's the U.S. title, which it gives him time to lose the hate he's caught up with that whole championship thing. Let him have a lower title, build his fan base, build him up. I love what they're doing with him. I just hope he doesn't turn heel. I don't want to see him as a heel. A lot of people don't like him as a good guy, but I like him so much.
Yes.
But
now, Chris, you know something interesting? How will we start our match?
Oh, no, not right now. But, I also love what they're doing with Seth. this kind of Randy Orton in between. You don't know whose side he's on.
Yeah.
I like this build of Seth Rollins. I don't like Kevin Owens. I loved Kevin Steen.
Owens is a badass.
I don't like him.
He's a good guy. It's
not that I don't like him as he's a good bad guy. I just don't like what they're doing with him. I don't really like... I know what they're doing with him. They're building him and Jericho up to have a match later.
Yes.
I want to see a return of the old Jericho. I want to see a return of Y2J. The old, good, the awesome, crazy... everybody loves Jericho until he plays a bad guy.
Yes.
He's a good bad guy, and he's really good at selling it. It's just, I love good guy Jericho. I always have. But I love Seth Rollins right now. I'm not a fan of the Kevin Owens. I loved Kevin Steen when he was in, was it ROH, I think he was Kevin Steen?
I think, yeah.
I liked Kevin Steen. I'm not a fan of Kevin Owens. I mean, it's not the fact that his bad guy is really good. It's just, I don't like the gimmick. I don't like where they're having him. I would have rather seen him come in as an underdog. Because he's not built like your typical, muscle-bound wrestler like they used to do. Like, he's not the John Cena. He's not the Randy Orton. He's not he's not the clean cut. He's a chubby man. He's a big man. He's strong, and he's got muscle. It's just he's got a belly.
I heard WWE wanted to fire him, actually.
They did at one point.
Really?
But it was, they just saw the potential of his character. I would love to see him come back as an underdog good guy.
Yes.
But I'm not a fan of the bad guy, Owens. Jericho, oh, God bless him with his ability to sell. It's so good. The whole friend, I do like this whole playoff they're doing of Kevin Owens and Jericho, where, he's got the list of people he doesn't like.
Yes.
That need to drink it in, man. It's so goofy.
Did you see last Raw, the Ranch people? I watched that show recently.
No, I didn't watch it.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. It's The Ranch. It's on Netflix. Shout out to Netflix. And that's a really funny show. You should watch it.
I might check it out, but I love this whole pseudo kind of weird buddy thing they're doing with them.
Yeah.
I love Jericho in general, but I love this whole, he's really protective of his scarf. He loves his scarf more so than his jacket now. I love Jacket Jericho.
Yes.
The crazy jackets, the crazy shirts and stuff. I love that. But this, he takes off his scarf real careful, then hands it to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens like, yeah, okay. And he's like, as soon as he hands it, he turns his back and Kevin's just like, just throws it over his shoulder. I can give two craps less about your scarf. And what they're doing, folks, is they're building Owens up to betray Jericho.
Yes.
Because Jericho is probably going to be retiring soon again.
How many times is the guy going to retire?
I think it's 4 now. It's got to be somewhere like that.
Retire, pick a point and retire, and just go do Fuzzy.
But I love what they're doing. He's still really good at what he does. But they're building up another championship run for Jericho. And I want to see Champ Jericho, but I want to see Jericho wanting revenge for his best buddy betraying him.
Yes.
Because, the whole Sami Zayn thing's done now. That's kind of over. And they're building this whole... But I want to see Seth with the champ. I want to see Seth as a champion again. But I don't know how they're going to work this. Maybe they put Seth on the back burner and then bring Jericho up. Or how they're going to do this. Or maybe a triple threat.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I just want to see... I want to see Jericho deliver a code breaker to Owens. Because that's going to hurt. Not to mention the lion salt on that big old gut.
God, ouch.
It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to Raw. I love what they're doing with Roman. I'm Roman Empire all the way.
Yes, believe in that. Of course, the guy can't work his way around a microphone, but he can.
Maybe someday.
Oh, by the way, I want to give some good shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to the Joe Cronin Show. I want to give a shout-out to the Dad on Dave Show. Who else is a wrestling?
What Culture. We want to give a huge shout-out to What Culture Wrestling. And their channel, they're great guys.
Yes.
There's so many people that just make this entire community so good to watch.
Yes, and I have to say, for a while, I'm a fan of the Joe Cronin Show and the Dead on Dave Show. There was a show called The Drunk Hangout with Dave Rose. Dave Rose he's a good guy. You know about him, do you?
Yeah, but very vaguely, but I do. I have heard of him and I heard of some of his stuff. Also, I also want to give a shout out to the Taz Show. I love what Taz does. He's so entertaining. His podcast, I love it. The Steve Austin show, that's always good.
When
Even
it's
if
not
serious.
not when it's involved with WWE, but when it's by itself, the Steve Austin podcast. It's good on its own, except when Vince McMahon says, "Hey, Steve, come over here. Be a part of WWE. Be a part of the network. We're going to control you and manipulate you."
I just feel like Steve wouldn't. If he's going to do something, he's going to do it on his terms.
Yeah, well, not when you wave a paycheck in front of Steve Austin, you know.
But I still enjoy the Steve Austin podcast. I really like it.
We probably need to head out. The folks are probably... Am I right?
Yeah, it's probably about time to... we pretty much talk about... Like we said, No Mercy. I gave it a 3 out of 5. It was good. Wasn't crazy good.
Time to raise our titles and say goodnight.
Yep.
Raising our titles to the roof.
Dolph, thank God you got your Intercontinental title, because I was going to cry if you lost and had to retire.
Boom.
Well, guys, thank you for watching our show, and we will see you on the next one of Through the Table.
Through the table. Booyah! Champion title to the Rays. The champ is here!